to the hitter from Wisconsin, Dawson Draves.
That's two good cuts. Just off of it just a little bit.
Pitch, grounder, right back up the middle, gets through. And the first hit of the ball game for Wisconsin, as Dawson Draves is now at first with no outs here in the top of the second.
Yeah, you knew the way he swung at the two before that he had a pretty good eye on what it was, and it looked like he just stayed on the curveball right there and just served it up the middle for the first hit for Wisconsin. Did a nice job right there.
That pitch is swung at, and the runner does not go.
Yeah, I think the catcher was going to, if nothing else, fake a throw to first, and he popped up and the ball got away from him a little bit. But I don't think they had any.
There's a bunt. Nicely done. Throw down to first.
Yeah.
And the catcher for Mississippi does a nice job of coming out from behind the plate.
We did a good job of not falling on the bat. The bat was in his way. He had to come around. He had to throw over the runner from the angle he had, so he did a really good job of getting that out at first. That was a real nice athletic play by him to get that done.
We want to welcome you. If you're just joining us now, a few little technical difficulties getting things started off, trying to get video out for this Babe Ruth World Series. And first pitch is a swing and a miss. No score as we're in the top of the second, Wisconsin and Mississippi, our first game of the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. That pitch is a little low, and the count is even out 1-1. To the hitter from Janesville, Wisconsin, is Caleb Kenna. And Draves is at first after the sacrifice by Hageman. That pitch misses outside. The count now 2-1. J.P. Plant alongside Mike Crane from Denver Trap Field in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Fourth time the World Series has come to Lawrenceburg. There's a ground to the right side.
Oh.
And takes a bad hop at second. And runners are going to be at the corners. And Rowcliffe over at second. Well, he slipped a little bit there, but took a little extra spin, Mike.
Yeah, I think what happened, he just kind of stayed back on it. He was in great position-wise, to make the play. It was just one of those deals where if you stay back on a baseball just a little bit, it does tend to do that to you with the spin. So he was, like I said, he was in great position. So I think you'll see him, and next time he probably will. He'll be able to make that play.
So runners at the corners, one out. Throw back over to first. And back safely is the runner for Wisconsin and Kenna. So the second error of the game for Mississippi. No errors for Wisconsin. No score. Top of the second. That pitch is high, and it's 1-0. The hitter, the 9-hole hitter, Cullen Peterson for Wisconsin. Top of the order, and Eric Hughes on deck.
You know, one of the things now that Babe Ruth's got a pitch count, those kind of plays are – we'll see how that affects Mississippi later in the game, because with the pitch count or whatever, he's having to throw, extra pitches in both the first and the second inning. So we'll see how that affects him going down into the rest of the game.
2-0 the count after the pitch outside. And that one's high, 3-0. So runners at the corners. And Tanner Parker, the catcher for Mississippi, wants to come out and talk to his pitcher, Mason. And you mentioned the pitch count, something new this year. Mike Crane, of course, is a former Babe Ruth World Series coach. In the past, it was more about the innings, correct?
Right.
And so you could throw as many pitches as you want, but it's based on the innings. Now the pitch count, every batter, the extra that you face can be magnified. Here's the 3-0. That's high, and that'll load them up. The top of the order coming to the plate for Wisconsin.
Right. Yeah, it looks like Mason's just kind of keeping the ball up. That at bat, he kind of stayed up in the zone the whole way. He just kind of needs to take a deep breath and get the ball over the plate and trust his defense. try to get out of this thing for him. And then the Wisconsin kids are just doing a good job of laying off high pitches right now.
Infield is at regular depth as a line drive. Base hit into right center field. 1 run will score. Rounding third, here comes another, bobbled out in right center, and they send the runner as the ball gets bumped on the turf, and a bases clearing single ultimately for Eric Hughes, and Wisconsin's on the board first, 3-0 over Mississippi.
Yeah, he did a nice line drive in the right center field, and of course, when they that's what happens. An error like that, that's what happens. It ends up coming back on you. But he did a nice job of picking up second right there on the throw in.
So time on the field as Wisconsin gets on the board first, 3-0 your score. Well, we got a moment. Interested in purchasing photos from the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series? Visit macbrownphoto.com or send them an email requesting your player or team to info@macbrownphoto.com. Mac Brown Photographers, the official studio of Exports Nation and of the 2017 15-year-old Babe Ruth World Series. Mac Brown Photographers, creating tomorrow's memories. And they do a fantastic job. Very technically savvy. Mike, they're going to have digital booklets available for a lot of these teams. Pretty cool stuff. All kinds of great stuff. We got a 10 if you are making your way here to the ballpark, maybe listening in. You can go see them at their 10. All right, 3-0 Wisconsin over Mississippi. Runner at second is Eric Hughes. Had 2 RBIs and then a third run. Cleared the bases after an error in right center. So the third error of the game on Mississippi. They now trail by 3. First pitch from Brett Mason is low for a ball to Dalton Madsen. As we are underway over at Tom Cruise Field, that pitch is in the dirt. 2-0. Tri-Valley, California versus Newtown, Connecticut. Opening ceremonies, we'll have that for you around 6:30 this evening right here on Denver Trap Field. The 2-0. Hot shot to the third baseman. Nice job across the diamond in time. Runner advances to third. And there are 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, that was a really good play by him because he turned on that ball and hit it really hard. It took a nice bounce to get him in the chest, and then the kid Eric Hughes did a nice job of waiting until the throw and picking up third. So now he's in position to score on a pass ball or anything like that.
Soft liner into right center field, and that's going to fall for a base hit, and Hughes will come in to score. So that heads up base running by Hughes pays off, and an RBI single. And that is Micah Overlay, the pitcher, helping himself out there, Mike, and it's now 4-0 Wisconsin.
Yeah, I think that's a product of the way Mississippi was playing the defense there. The right fielder's kind of playing towards the line, and the center fielder's playing close over towards left field. So they're kind of giving up that gap. That ball was a nice hit, but it wasn't. It hung up there long enough to where if they're in just a little bit different position, they'd have had a play on the ball.
First pitch fouled away, 0-1 the count. There are 2 outs in the inning. Big lead over at first, and they throw back. He has to get dirty going head first. Does Overlay. He stretches the back out. Not quite a big a lead this time, by like 2 steps. As Mason with a strike, and it's 0-2 now. The hitter for Wisconsin, Clark Schmaling, number 15. Third base for the boys from Janesville, Wisconsin. Curveball, all speed, hit shortstop, up cleanly on to second, and just getting to the bag in time for the third out of the inning. But Wisconsin puts a 4 spot on the board here in the second. They lead it 4-0, heading in the bottom half of the inning. This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series, live on Exports TV from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Enterprises in Main Street, Lawrenceburg would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Darrell Valentine Enterprises in Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back to the 15-year-old Babe Ruth World Series and our broadcast position in the Parks Lumber Perch at Denver Track Field. J.P. Plant alongside Mike Crane. You didn't know we had a name for this thing, did you?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah. The Parks Lumber Perch.
All right.
Over at Tom Cruise, it's the Parks Lumber Porch. It's an actual deck.
Okay.
Now it's a low deck. It's on the ground.
Yeah.
But we are in.
It's for the unathletic.
That's right.
Guys, so if they fall, they won't get hurt.
That's right. JP Plant alongside Mike Crane with you, live on X Sports TV on YouTube. We appreciate all those tuning in wherever you may be, watching Wisconsin and Mississippi. The first game, game 2, underway across the way at Tom Cruise Field. And the first pitch to the batter for Wisconsin as they trail now 4-0. Cole Boswell, Tanner Parker, Will Hodo, the first 3 up for the Southwest champs from Meridian, Mississippi. Swing and a miss and a foul ball. And interestingly enough, Michael Crane, these are the only 2 teams that did not fly. Both drove here. Of course, Mississippi makes sense. Meridian, not that far. Janesville, Wisconsin, though, took a road trip.
Yeah, well,
a caravan of cars.
I think when I was talking to one of their dads the other night, he said it was a, 11-hour trip, something like that.
Yeah.
So, when we went to Ocala in 2014, we drove as well. That's about a 10, 11, 12-hour trip, something like that. Sometimes it's easier to put them in the car and get them there versus the flight patterns that Babe Ruth has to put together for them.
The 2-2 after the foul. That one's fouled away to the right side, and the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. No outs, nobody on base. Bottom of the second, Wisconsin and Mississippi. And 4-0, Janesville, Wisconsin on top. Micah Overlay jammed him a bit to Boswell, fouled it away, and Boswell hanging tough here to lead off the inning.
Overlay's doing a really good job of putting the ball on the corners and staying out of the middle of the plate so far, and Mississippi's having some good swings on it. He's just having a hard time barreling it up at the moment.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss at off speed by Overlay, and a strikeout for the first out of the inning here in the bottom of the second. Brock Butler, your hitter for Mississippi. First pitch, that curveball. Overlay's got that working today, Mike. That's over for a strike.
Yeah. You can tell that's a nice pitch for him, the way he's confident leading the batters off. I really like that approach for a pitcher to do that, because most kids at this level and really through high school are taught to lay off of that off speed out of the gate. So if you can throw it for a strike, you can pretty much get ahead of every batter.
There's a line drive at left center field in the 5-hole there. And
Parker? Is that Parker?
Yeah, Butler. Correction, yes. Thank you very much. Looking at the wrong number. My apologies, folks. Tanner Parker, you're right, number 3.
Take us a few minutes to learn everybody and do that, but we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah, that was a really good hit. He stayed on that and pulled it right between, right over shortstop's head. So really nice line drive.
So the hitter is Will Hodo, number 15, the extra player, extra hitter.
I think Will's read the
code. That's right.
Before the game. Did a good job doing that.
There's a line drive.
Base hit up, line drive up the middle.
All right, so with 1 out, back-to-back singles for Mississippi. Trying to rally, they trail 4-0. 1 out and 2 runners on base, and the hitter will be James Rowcliffe, the second baseman for Mississippi.
Yeah, that's what these guys have to do. They just have to kind of stay back and not try to do too much with the ball, and the last 2 hits have been just that.
That pitch is over for a strike.
Yep. Sorry about that, JP.
Oh, you're fine.
The right now Wisconsin's playing a little deep for what they're getting. So these line drives and stuff they got a lot of room out there to fall.
That pitch, I believe that's a strike. Yep, right at the letters.
Well, it is in the books.
It is.
The fans from Mississippi thought it might be a little high.
There's a line drive.
There it is again.
That's going to get down, but holding at third, and they're loaded up. Parker, as he had to wait, make sure that ball got down in the outfield. So after a strikeout from Overlay to start the inning, back-to-back hits by Meridian, Mississippi, they're loaded with just 1 out.
Yeah, this part of the order's done a nice job of just serving the ball up the middle and into left field.
There's a strike to the hitter, Leighton Jenkins. Oh, and 1 the count. Corners are in for Wisconsin. Double play depth up the middle. Slow grounder, but it is foul. And the count now 0-2.
Yeah, Mississippi, this is a big inning for them right here because they've got a chance to get back in the ball game, and so need to make something happen right here to feel good about the rest of the game for them.
That pitch just misses.
Yeah.
Just missed.
Now we're listening to Wisconsin side a little
bit.
That was a pretty close. So Blue having some close calls right here out of the gate.
1-2. Slow grounder to the right side. Coming home from first in time to get the lead runner going for 2. Double play. Janesville, Wisconsin with the 3-2-4 double play to end the inning with bases loaded. What a defensive play for Wisconsin. They keep Mississippi off the board. We play 2. Your score, Wisconsin 4, Mississippi 0. This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series live from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee on X Sports TV.
Darrell Valentine Enterprises and Main Street Lawrenceburg would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a
Your
healthy
score,
community
Wisconsin
spirit.
4.
Darrell Valentine Enterprises and Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back to Lawrenceburg, Denver Track Field. Start of the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. JP Plant and Mike Crane with you. As what a way to end the second inning. A 3-2-4 double play from Janesville, Wisconsin with the bases loaded, and they keep Mississippi off the board. They lead it 4-0 as we head to the top half of inning 3. A quick scoreboard update across the way at Tom Cruise Field. Connecticut, Mike, with a 1 spot in the top of the first. They lead Tri-Valley, California 1-0 in the bottom of the first.
Well, it looks like Mississippi has changed pitchers. Looks like they got Mason Willis coming in.
There you go.
And so, yeah, that was a big double play for Wisconsin because Mississippi had something going and 1 out, bases loaded. You really, if you're Mississippi, really need to score right there because you're down 4-0, but it's still early in the ball game. So you gotta, you get a chance like that. You want to make something happen, but the first baseman for Wisconsin, Graves made a great play on the ball and then to the catcher, and then those guys doubled it up. So that was a really good defensive play there for Wisconsin.
All right, so up for Wisconsin here in the top of the third. Cody Lagerman, Dawson Draves, followed by Colin Hageman. New pitcher, as Mike mentioned, Mason Willis. First pitch grounded just past the third baseman and into left field for a leadoff single here in the top of the third.
Yeah, he just kind of reached out. That ball was really on the outside part of the plate, but he just reached there and pulled it in the hole. So nice hit right there.
So runner at first, nobody out. Top of the third, Wisconsin up 4-0 over Mississippi. First pitch, outside edge for a strike. 0-1 the count. To Dawson Draves, who got that double play started off in the bottom half of the last inning. Strike on the outside edge, 0-2.
Yeah, those are two really good pitches. Really, not much you can do with him as a batter. And if he's going to give him that little bit off the plate, then I'd stay right there if I was him.
Throw over to first, back in time.
Really a nice changeup that falls right into that spot would be a tough pitch to hit right now if he can throw it for a strike.
So Willis has the hitter 0-2. Here's the pitch. Outside. Swing and a miss and a strikeout for Willis, his first. And Draves goes down. That'll bring up Colin Hageman, number 9 for Janesville, Wisconsin.
Yeah, that was a real good pitch. He got 2 calls on the corner, and then he went 2 or 3 balls away from that and got the strikeout.
Trying to work the outside edge, just missed. 1-0 the count.
Yeah, just a little too far out there, I guess, on that one. But staying with that same strategy.
Pitch. Just outside, 2-0. 1 out, top of the third. 4-0 Wisconsin over Mississippi. 2-0 count coming from Willis to Hageman. Here's the pitch. Slow chopper, but fouled off the batter while in the box. So it's a strike, 2-1 the count. I want to welcome all those tuning in on our YouTube channel. Appreciate your patience getting things underway today. It's like a puzzle to try to get things started off.
Big
all the
shout
time.
out to Ben Method.
Absolutely. Our IT director here at the ballpark. Back safely at first. A little bit different setup than what we had 2 years ago. Some of you may be tuning in. We watched 2015 year World Series. There's a slap shot, fair, just inside the line. Runner moves to third, heading towards second is Hageman. And a double down the right field line puts runners at second and third, just 1 out here in the third.
Yeah, now Eric, that was Eric Hughes, right?
That was Hageman, actually. Number 9 got the hit.
Oh, okay. All right, I got the wrong one. Sorry about that.
So the hitter will be Caleb Kenna. Hits in the 8-hole. Cullen Peterson is on deck. Even at the bag at third, everybody else regular depth with 1 out. Runners at second and third. First base is open. There's 1 out in the inning. Wisconsin trying to add to their 4-0 lead here in the top of the third. There's a strike on the outside edge. The count even at 1-1. Still 1-0 at Tom Cruise Field, California and Connecticut, with Newtown, Connecticut on top as they head down to the second inning. Curveball nearly grazed the white pants of the hitter Kenna. It's inside, 2-1.
I don't think he can. I think he thought it was going to hit him. I think he was surprised it didn't.
It curved away at the last moment. The 2-1. There's a strike at the outside edge. 2-2 the count. One out in the inning. Runners at second and third. A spin by Willis. And everybody kind of pauses.
We'll stare down there.
Yep.
Nobody covering, so the runner decided he could stay off the bag.
That one's fouled away. And the count remains 2-2. As you're watching, you see that beautiful World Series logo behind home plate. Mr. Crane, you had a little help touching that up this morning, didn't you?
Yeah. Doug Howell's the master of that logo right there and does a great job with it.
That one's popped up just in foul territory, but making the play over at first for the out is Brock Butler. Keeps everybody at bay. There are 2 outs now as Cullen Peterson, the 9-hitter, in the lineup for Wisconsin at the plate.
So, yeah, I just did enough to say enough people saw that I did a little bit, so they all think I had a big part of that. So.
It's all about perception. It's reality oftentimes, right?
That's right.
Pitch is outside, 1-0 the count. A reminder, we do have both games going on our YouTube stream. We'll try to improve our audio on field 2, actually field 1, Tom Cruise Field. That pitch is high. Stanley G. Wilson is on the call over there. I believe you'll be able to get the gist of what's happening, and we'll try to improve as the series goes along. Kind of piecemeal some stuff together so we can get some video feeds out for the fans of all these teams across the country. There's a strike, 2-1 the count. Spin around again. So if Mississippi can get out of this jam, Micah, that could be a turning point for Meridian.
Absolutely.
Give them a little momentum.
I mean, because they're swinging the bat. I mean, they've had runners on both innings, and like I said, bases loaded in the last inning. So yeah, if they can get out of this without giving up any runs, I think they'll probably feel like they can get back in this thing.
That one's fouled away. Count remains 2-2.
There.
Curveball. Wow.
Yeah, I think it was just a little low. It's a late breaking curveball, which is a real good one. If he can get it, if he can start it out just a little bit further in, he'll be able to get that pitch.
Full count now. Here's the pitch. Just outside, that'll load him up, much to the chagrin of Mason Willis. And we head back to the top of the order in Eric Hughes.
Yeah, he wanted that pitch, but that one was too far out. It wasn't one. Now, he's been given a few inches off the plate so far, but that one was just a little bit too far out.
Curveball, that one hits him, and that'll bring in a run, and that'll make it 5-0. Although might be a good trade out for Mississippi. Last time Hughes cleared the bases with a single and an error. And so a run makes it 5-0, and that'll bring up Dalton Mason. Catcher had to shed the gear. Now steps from the batter's box for Wisconsin. Now leads it 5-0. There's a fly ball right field. And over the head. Misjudging it out in right field, and 2 runs are going to score. I'm assuming that, Mike, that will be an error. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, it will be. I mean, he just got out there and the wind's blowing out. So that ball gets up in the air, and it's really, it really wasn't it was a routine fly ball normally, but the wind caught it. And once he started and right, it was, it really made it a lot tougher play. And so, yeah, I think you have to give an error on that.
That cleared the bases, makes it 8-0. At second base is Dalton Matson, and your hitter is Micah Overlay, the pitcher. He's got to love seeing that coming to the play with that snowman now in his favor. The pitch on the outside edge, 0-2.
Well, just like we were talking about a few minutes ago, you're one pitch away from getting out of this thing, and then and then now you turn around and now it's 8 to nothing. So now, if you're the managers of the team, you got to start thinking about, okay, what do I do with my pitching? What do I got here? Start thinking about down the line a little bit. Although I would tell you the way Mississippi they've swung the bats. I mean, they can get back in this thing.
1-2 the count. Hitter Micah Overlay, the pitcher for Wisconsin. Open stance on the left side. Oh, he caught a groove on that one, but just missed it. Fouled it back to the net.
Yeah, it would be 9. It would have been 9-0 if he squared that one up. I mean, that one was going into the gap, and he probably end up at third base.
A lot of room in right center. Waits on that one, a slow grinder, but a bad hop. Butler, though, retrieves it and gets it to Willis in time for the third out. But not before the damage is done, as 2 more errors on Mississippi, plates 4 more runs and a couple of hits for Wisconsin. They lead it 8-0. We head to the bottom of the third. This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series live from Lawrenceburg on Exports TV.
Darrell Valentine Enterprises in Main Street, Lawrenceburg would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Darrell Valentine Enterprises in Main Street, Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the Exports Radio Network.
The announcer's wardrobe has been provided by HD Ink. For all your screen printing and embroidery needs, give owner Phil Hooper a call at 931-201-2961 or email him at hdink2010@gmail.com. HD Ink, the official apparel provider of the Exports Radio Network. We welcome you in to Babe Ruth World Series 2017. JP Plant and Mike Crane with you from Denver Trap Field. We've got Janesville, Wisconsin, and Meridian, Mississippi. Wisconsin up 8-0 as we head to the bottom of the third. A scoreboard update from Tom Cruise Field. Connecticut still leads California 1-0. That's in the top of the second inning. A runner at third and first. And a couple of errors, Mike, on California already in that one. And our experience, and your experience with California, if you're going to catch them early.
Yeah, get them early. You don't want them to get their feet on the ground, really. They definitely come into this tournament with the mindset of one of the teams, stronger teams coming in, at least on paper. So
there's a fly ball to left field, and a nice running catch by the left fielder for Wisconsin, as that was Cody Logdeman. And the hitter for Mississippi is Hayes Henson. That was Brandrick Thomas with that fly ball. Takes a strike. Top of the order. Henson hits to the left side. First 2 hitters for Mississippi bat from the left. Facing Overlay, Micah Overlay, who has found a groove as swing and a miss, 0-2. A little bit easier, Mike, when you got an 8-run lead, isn't it? Yeah. Oftentimes.
Yeah, it is. Definitely, you don't worry as much about making a perfect pitch or doing that. But Overlay's done a really good job of just pitching the same way. It's almost like he's got a scouting report.
1-2. Off speed, swing and a miss by Henson, and a strikeout for Overlay. 2 gone here in the bottom of the third. Meridian, Mississippi in their white uniforms with the blue piping. Blue accents. Janesville, Wisconsin, out in the field right now with the red jerseys, white pants, and the red caps. Appreciate all those tuning in from all across the country, in particular Wisconsin and Mississippi. We welcome you to Exports TV's coverage of the Babe Ruth World Series. There's a strike on the outside edge, 0-1 the count to the hitter Brett Mason. Started this game on the mound.
Yeah, and he had a hit the first time up, I believe, and that one's got a chance.
Little blooper behind the bag, and yep, caught by the third baseman, Clark Schmaling. And for the first time, I think either team goes 1, 2, 3. As we have played 3 innings, Wisconsin 8, Mississippi 0. This is the Babe Ruth World Series on X Sports TV.
Gerald Valentine Enterprises in Main Street, Lawrenceburg would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Darrell Valentine Enterprises in Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back to Denver Track Field. Lawrenceburg, Tennessee side of the 15-year-old Babe Ruth World Series. J.P. Plant, Mike Crane with you. And 8-0 lead. We hit kind of the middle part of this ball game, Mike. And if you're Wisconsin with that 8-run lead, do you, with the new pitch count rules this year, do you look at maybe taking Overley out and saving him a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I would, not knowing the roster very well and knowing what you got behind Overley, I would think you're at least considering doing that. You don't want to ever take anything for granted, but if you got a guy that can come in here and hit the corners a little bit and throw strikes or whatever and save some pitches, it's probably not a bad place to do that. And I guess this half of the inning will dictate some of that too. If you get a couple more runs in here, you may do that, but. The other side of it is if you're pretty close to a run rule, mercy rule type situation. So if you can get a couple more runs and then hold them, that might be worth something too to you.
Schmaling, the hitter. Big curve from Willis after a foul pitch. That one's over for a strike. The count should be 0-2 as we start the top half of inning 4. 8-0 Wisconsin over Meridian, Mississippi. Pitch fouled away.
Willis has done a really good job of hitting these corners. I think if he'll just stick with that, he'll be fine.
Here's the 0-1. Soft line drive in left field for a leadoff single. And Clark Schmaling, the cleanup hitter for Wisconsin, gets on board here in the top of the 4th. That's the 6th hit of the ball game. 8 runs, though, for Wisconsin, aided by 4 Mississippi errors.
Yeah, those errors are really, really separating the game. The defense has really been the difference. Pitching's been okay for both teams, I thought, and Mississippi just needs to settle down and play a little defense right here to keep themselves, get them some confidence in the thing. It's a tough – playing the first game is tough, and so – they just need to settle down and get a little confidence. So they need somebody to make a good defensive play.
Pop up right at the first base bag, caught by Butler. And Schmaling will stay put at first out of the inning here in the top of the 4th. Yeah, you've been a part of 3 Babe Ruth World Series, and no matter how much experience, there's always those first game nerves, right?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. When you think about what these kids have done the last 2 days, coming in, they first of all day Tuesday is a travel day, especially with these guys. They all traveled and drove several hours apiece to get here, and then they got it orientated and then find a
stop you there, Crane. We got stolen base. And the throw goes into center field, so Schmaling makes his way to third as the 5th error of the ball game on Mississippi.
Yeah, that ball just tailed away from him. Catcher just kind of threw it, and it just tailed away into the right center field side of the bag, and so they did a good job of picking up third off of that.
So 1-0 count to the hitter, Cody Dawson Draves. And count even at 1-1.
But they're just such a busy, hectic schedule. Back to that is that, they really need a little bit to get them settled down. And so this is not unusual having one go this way. So just because they've had a few bad plays here early, I wouldn't
count them out.
Wouldn't count them out of the tournament at all.
A couple of foul balls and count even at 2-2. Now to Cody Logdeman. Correction, Dawson Draves. Logdeman popped up.
You want Cody to be up there so bad, don't you, JP?
He slaps that one, reached for it down the right field line, foul towards the bullpen.
Anywhere else, that's out of play. But here at Denver Trap, the foul territory is extremely wide. So if you got some speed in the outfield, you can get to a lot of those foul balls.
Yeah, I just widened our view so you could see the full depth and width of this field. And it is wide. That pitch is low and in full count now to the hitter Dawson Draves. Runner at third, 1 out. Wisconsin up 8-0 here in the top of the fourth. Line drive at right field. And caught, tagging at third is Schmeling. And he'll score easily in an RBI sacrifice fly for Dawson Draves. Makes it 9-0 Wisconsin. And we're getting close to that 10-run rule.
Yeah, that was a really good piece of hitting by Draves right there. You could tell he wasn't trying to do too much. He knew that he needed to get that run in, and every run for those guys means extra pitching in the rest of the tournament. And so did a really good job of hitting that ball behind the runner in the right field to get him in.
Curveball from Willis to the hitter Colin Hageman. It misses inside 1-0 the count. And Connecticut up 2-0 now in the bottom of the second over California. Over at Tom Cruise Field. That game available also at Exports TV on our YouTube channel. If you're watching this, you can find that one as well. Sorry,
well,
Brian.
we can see just a little bit going on. Looks like California's got a runner in scoring position with 1 out over there, so we'll be able to keep you posted from a bird's eye view, I guess.
That's right. The 1-1 to Hageman outside, 2-1. Mason Willis came in to start the third, and that one's fouled away. Count evens now at 2-2. Feel free to give us a comment, thoughts, a shout-out. I'll do my best to get to those. I've got the live chat up on our YouTube page of the game. See, we've got Andy and Gene Willis and watching in, commenting, have their own little chat. Feel free to contact us, and we're going to have time.
It looks like they're going to change pitchers. They were motioning, trying to get their pitch counts to 45, so at least that's what it looks like. They're going to keep Willis in play for his next outing and not burn him too far. So 45 pitches, they're going to keep their pitching in play. That's probably, I don't have the pitch count for Mason, but probably if we look at it, they probably kept him in play too. So Mississippi's keeping pretty smart for them to do that. You know, they're down 9-0, so they don't need to burn pitching unnecessarily for the rest of it. It's still a long tournament.
Absolutely. So, a new pitcher is going to be number 10, Leighton Jenkins. And Mason Willis has picked up his glove and is heading to, looks like maybe center field.
Well,
or right field one.
Probably not. Well, we'll see here in a minute.
He's heading to the outfield.
Yeah, he's going to the outfield. He'll probably end up in right.
Yep.
The center fielder Henson and Thomas, the left fielder, they're both out there. So I would imagine Mason will be in right, which has really got most of the action.
Yeah, it has got a lot. We welcome Drew Overlay, says go Janesville, watching. I bet somewhat kin to Micah Overlay, you think?
Probably a good chance of that.
Good chance of that. All right, so Meridian, Mississippi. Coach Gill makes the pitching change, and Leighton Jenkins. And Willis does go to right. Brett Mason is at short.
And Carpenter, I think Ben Carpenter's in the game at second base.
Okay, there you go. So there's some of your defensive alignment changes. From the stretch with nobody on base is Jenkins. His first pitch to Colin Hageman is a ball. So I think that's 2-2.
Our friends are over in the press box.
Had the music still going.
They're jamming out over here. Hey,
There's a walk.
Have to figure out what they're drinking over here.
They haven't passed that down the way yet, have they?
Yeah. Those guys.
Share. Come on now.
Umpires.
Yeah.
Turn around and trying to tell them to stop it.
3 umpires on the field for this one. They're from all across the country and one from right here in Lawrenceburg. And the first pitch to Caleb Kenna is high for a ball. (9-0) Wisconsin. There's a slow grounder. Charging at third, barehanding over to first, not in time. And an infield single for Kenna. Puts runners at first and second with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th.
Really, that's one of those plays where it's really not much you can do. You're playing back behind the bag a little bit at third base, and he tops over one down the line. There's really not much you can do. He barehanded it, but if you got any speed at all running the base paths, then it's a done deal. It's a base hit. So he did make a good play on it, though.
Absolutely. We welcome Hannah Larkman joining in. Go Janesville, number 34. There's a line drive, deep left field. That's going to get over the head. No, what a catch. Oh, the left fielder for Mississippi with a spectacular catch. Hayes Henson kept going back and makes the catch to what could save a couple innings.
Oh, yeah. Hey, listen, when he turned his back to the ball, I was like, well, they're getting ready to score too. And so, heck, he made a great over-the-back catch. I'm not even sure he could see it going in his glove, the angle he had on it. So that's the kind of play they need, though. They need to make a play like that to get them some energy and get them out of this. Now, whether it'll make a difference in this game or not, it's hard to tell, but that's the kind of play that'll keep them, get them ready for the rest of the tournament at least.
We'll see if that can jumpstart the boys from Meridian, Mississippi. They trail 9-0. They're coming to the plate, bottom of the 4th. We'll have it for you right after this.
Darrell Valentine Enterprises in Main Street, Lawrenceburg would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Darrell Valentine Enterprises in Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
JP Plant, Mike Crane back with you. Denver Track Field, Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. 9-0 Wisconsin over Mississippi. Our first game of the 2017 15-year-old Babe Ruth World Series. 4th time in our lovely little city of Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. 78 and 81, the senior Babe Ruth over at Old Flanagan Field. Now 2015 and back here this year. First pitch to Butler. Fouled it down the third base side. 0-1 the count is. Is that still overlay out there? I believe it is, Mike, isn't it? Looks like him.
Get him to turn around. It does look like him. You can see his number. I didn't see his number on his back there. So.
Yeah, that's overlay.
Yeah,
all
that's
right.
him.
The 0-1 is high, so 1-1. We talked about in the last half inning, a couple of different schools of thoughts. When you're up big, you can either continue to ride your pitcher and only use one, or possibly save based on the pitch count. A couple of different thoughts, and it all depends on, what you've got on the bench. As that one catches the outside edge, 1-2 now to Brock Butler.
Right. And really, he's been real efficient in this game, other than the second inning where they had bases loaded. He's kind of kept them off balance and got out. The last inning, he only faced 3 batters, so he's definitely, in the ball game from that standpoint.
Pool play here at the Babe Ruth World Series. 5 teams in each pool. There's a line drive. Brock Butler with a leadoff single. He roped that one over the shortstop Eric Hughes' head. And runner at first with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th for Mississippi. So Meridian playing here today. They will, they will play again tomorrow evening right here at Denver Track Field, and they get the host from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, 8 o'clock Central. This is the first pitch from Overlay to the hitter, Brandon Luke. Outside edge for a strike. And Wisconsin, the Ohio Valley champs, that pitch misses, will play again tomorrow at 5 o'clock against Camas Washougal, Washington. That game's 5 o'clock tomorrow and nearly a pickoff at first. Good move by Overlay. Appreciate all of you guys watching. Keep me honest on the Zoom too, Mike.
Yeah, he's
multitasking over here.
He's wanting to keep this shutout in play, right? Hot day or whatever, I think I might tell him to just get the batter. But that was real close.
That was real close.
So, it's hard to tell from here, but it was close enough to where you're like, man, I got him this time.
Yep, there you go. Kept leaning. And Brock Butler is tagged out at first. Picked off by Micah Overlay, and there's one out in the inning, nobody on base, and a 1-1 count now to Braden Luke, who hadn't seen a pitch in a while.
Well, I mean, you got to give it to Overlay right there. I mean, he just stuck with it. And,
absolutely.
And Butler was getting the same lead. I really thought the play before they might have got him. And so when he threw it over that next time, there it is, the base hit after that.
All right, yep. In between first and second. So Luke is on safely at first with one out in the bottom of the 4th. Mississippi trailing 9-0 to Wisconsin.
That's what usually happens after a play like that. The guy gets a base hit, and so,
Pitch is low.
Okay, I was getting ready to say my strategy for Overlay was to say, hey, just get the batter, but of course he proved he knows more than I do about that stuff. He was like, no, Mike, I'm gonna get the runner.
Ben Carpenter, pinch hitter for Mississippi, up for the first time this afternoon. There's a line drive over the head of the shortstop. So Carpenter comes up with a pinch hit for Mississippi. And runners at first and second with just one out. And back to, let's see, who do we have here? Tanner Parker. So Carpenter hitting for Cole Boswell, and Parker at the plate.
No, Ben Carpenter hitting for Boswell, I think.
Okay. That gets past the catcher. Throw at third. Not in time. As Madsen, it snuck just underneath his pads. Enough for Braden Luke to make his way to third. And Carpenter on to second. So 2 runners in scoring position now for Tanner Parker with one out here in the bottom of the 4th, trailing 9-0. Mississippi at the plate. Wow, the good cut there by Parker. The 1-1 from Overlay. That gets past the catcher, Madsen. Coming in to score is Braden Luke. And the first run of the ball game for Mississippi makes it 9-1. Carpenter makes his way to third. Still just one out here in the fourth. And
yeah, man, they're just one at a time right now. If you're in this ball game, you need to get this run on third base in.
There's a strike on the outside edge to Parker, 2-2. And looking at the scoreboard, 9 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Wisconsin. 1 run, 7 hits, 5 errors for Mississippi.
Yeah,
there's your difference.
That's the difference in the game right now.
The 2-2. Just missed high to Parker, and it's full from Micah Overlay. Ben Carpenter at third, who pitched hit for Boswell. Got a single. The pitch. Just missed. Parker was waiting. Everybody was waiting.
Yeah.
And he makes his way down to first on the walk. And runners at the corners with 1 out.
Yeah, I think Overlay, it's hard to tell on balls. It was definitely over the plate. I guess he had it a little low on that one.
So we've got time on the field. Coach for Wisconsin checking on Overlay. And I guess he's going to stay with him, Mike.
Yeah. Do you have how many pitches that he's?
I do not.
We'll find that out in between innings.
Yeah, the stats. I'm afraid they've got a new stat system working with Babe Ruth, and I'm not sure if they're.
We don't see them yet.
I'm not sure if they're working just yet.
Well, I'll check here in between innings and see where we're at.
We've got the pitch count machine right outside of our window here. There's a line drive, right field. And making the catch for the second out of the inning is Peterson, who had it played right. That ball looked like it might have a chance to get over his head. But
yeah.
But Parker makes his way back to first. There are 2 outs now in the inning.
Yeah, off the bat, I thought, man, he's got it good, but he's just playing. He's playing pretty deep. Of course, this is a big field anyway, but, yeah, off the bat, I thought he had a chance to get over his head, but he got the run in. That's the important thing for Mississippi right now is to score. Whenever you have a chance to do something, score, to prolong the number of at-bats you get in this game.
Yeah, sacrifice fly makes it 9-2. Wisconsin on with the lead as the hitter for Mississippi is Mason Willis, who came in to pitch to relieve Mason in the third. He fouls the first pitch off, 0-1 the count. Runner at first, not a big lead at all. All-speed pitch from Overlay over for a strike, and the count 0-2. Game 1 of 25 at the Babe Ruth World Series. That pitch is fouled away. Our goal is to be able to bring them all to you, Mike. So far, we got 1 and 2 up and running. Hopefully, we can continue that.
Oh, yeah. Had some first inning jitters over here for our technical stuff, too, didn't it?
Absolutely. And California just put a run on the board. They trail now 2-1. That's in the bottom of the third. Curveball doesn't quite come back to Willis, and the count, I believe, now is 2-1.
Willis did everything he could, legally, to let that ball hit him. I like it. I like that. Trying to get on base.
Swing and a miss on the 1-2 count, and that'll be the third out of the inning. Mississippi, though, gets on the board. They put 2 up. After a couple of hits, they trail, though, 9-2 as we head to the 5th inning. This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series live on Exports TV from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Back after this.
Gerald Valentine Enterprises in Main Street, Lawrenceburg would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Darrell Valentine Enterprises in Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. JP playing alongside Mike Crane from Denver Track Field and Janesville, Wisconsin, up on Meridian, Mississippi, 9-2 as we head to the top half of the fifth inning. And you got some stats there, Mike, or the pitch count numbers.
Yeah, just the pitch count numbers.
The new rules.
We're trying to figure out, where Overlay was, thinking about the strategy of that. He's got 59 pitches right now, so he's over the magic number of 45. So he's got all sit.
There's a pitch. Hughes leading off here in the fifth inning, and a fly ball to right center field, coming over to make the play for Mississippi, I believe, was Brandrick Thomas. So
yeah, that's right.
Dalton Madsen, your hitter, the catcher for Wisconsin, one out here in the top of the fifth. Swing and a miss.
So the magic number for Overlay to have to wait another day, he's already got to sit one day for going over 45, and he's at 59. So the magic number for him is 75. The next number for him, 75. If he does that, if he goes over 75, he's got to sit 2 days. Before he come back. So, but if you're pitching like that in this tournament or whatever, in pool play, you're probably not coming back for a couple of days anyway.
So no 2 count. And once again, fouled away, as out in front of it is Madsen. Looking at Wisconsin, as I mentioned, they play again tomorrow at 5 o'clock. And then they do play on Saturday as well. Is that one fouled back right on top of us? Ohio Valley doesn't have their day off until the last day. There's a line drive again, just foul. So Madsen battling.
That's not a terrible spot to be in. We were in that spot the first World Series we went to in Williston, where we got our bye the last day, and so that allowed us going into the tournament, part of the bracket play, to rest everybody for one day and get your feet back under you. So that's not bad.
Another foul by Madsen, as he and Jenkins in a little battle here. Top of the fifth, 9-2 your score. Wisconsin up on Meridian, Mississippi. JP Plant, Mike Crane with you. The 0-2, once again, fouled away, once again. It's about, 7? I think he's fouled away, Mike.
Yeah, he's up there battling. Jenkins, he just keeps bringing it over the plate and doing a nice job of that. And
pitch is outside, 1-2 now. It's one out in the inning. Nobody on base for Wisconsin. The 1-2. Again,
another foul ball.
At off-speed pitch, he's just way out in front of it.
That one made it over the picnic tables, almost onto the other field.
The 1-2. Line drive, this one's fair. A base hit, and Dalton Madsen, what an at-bat. And not much that Jenkins can do. He just kind of puts his hand on his hips. Is like, well, I did as best I could.
Yeah, I mean, he did his part. He kept throwing it over. He wasn't throwing it right down the middle. He's hitting the corners, and Madsen just did a really good job of sticking with it. A lot of times you get frustrated as a hitter and you end up over swinging or doing something like that.
Micah Overlay, the pitcher, throws right-handed. hits left-handed. And first pitch is low for a ball, 1-0. There goes the runner. Off the mound they throw to first. And it is behind Butler, but somehow he's able to pick it up and maybe rushed it just a bit was Jenkins. If he had just taken a step off, might have had him at second.
Yeah, he heard going and he just turned and fired to first. But first baseman actually did a really good job of not letting that ball get by him because he certainly wasn't expecting it.
There's a pop up and fair behind third base, and nice job of the shortstop for Mississippi coming over to make that play. I believe that is Mason now at short. And there are 2 outs now. Retreating back to second is the runner, Madsen.
Yeah, that stolen base actually put Mason in position to make that play because if that ball's hit and he's in double play depth, he can't get to it. The ball falls in for a base hit. So that stolen base actually helped Mississippi there.
First pitch, strike on the outside edge. 0-1. 2 outs of the inning. Runner at second. Wisconsin up 9-2. Top of the 5th. That pitch is outside from Jenkins. As Schmaling is your hitter. If he can reach, Cody Lochterman is on deck for Wisconsin. The 1-1. Lifted high. And just into the short grass. Behind second, Brett Mason makes the grab, and Jenkins gets out of the inning. So 1 hit, 1 runner left on base, no errors and no runs. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Your score still remains Wisconsin 9, Mississippi 2. This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series live on X-Sports TV. And we will keep it here as it is the 5th inning stretch. Mike Crane and the MC, Master of Ceremonies, Paul Plant, who's leading Take Me Out of the Ball Game. We'll turn our mics down and turn that up, Mike. How about it? There you go. There's Take Me Out to the Ball Game, a 5th inning stretch. We'll be back with the bottom half of the inning right after these messages.
Gerald Valentine Enterprises in Main Street, Lawrenceburg would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Darrell Valentine Enterprises in Main Street, Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X-Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back to the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series, live on X-Sports TV. As Mississippi up to the plates, trailing 9-2 in the first pitch, swung on by Jenkins. Takes a side hop on the shortstop Hughes, and the first error of the ball game for Wisconsin will put Jenkins at first here to lead things off in the bottom of the 5th. It might be the first time since the first Mississippi able to hold Wisconsin off the scoreboard in that last half inning.
Yeah, they settled down and made a few good plays, defensive plays right there. And like I said, if they get something going here, they get 3 more at bats to make something happen.
That pitch is actually, we got a balk. We got a balk on overlay, and that'll move Jenkins up to second. First pitch coming from Overlay. Is low. Brandrick Thomas, your hitter. Hit to the 9-hole position. Top of the order in Hayes Henson. The 1-0. Strike on the outside edge. One and one the count. The pitch. Popped him up. Staying in the infield, right behind second base. And Hughes makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Staying put is Jenkins at second. That'll bring the top of the order in Hayes Henson for Mississippi as they trail 9-2 here in the bottom of the fifth. First pitch just missed outside. Just got a shout out from Ice Shaney. Says, come on, Dalton. Nothing past you. Love your mom. 1-0 line drive to right center field. It's going to get down. Waiting at second was Jenkins. He's going to be held there at third. And runners at the corners with one out here in the top of the fifth for Mississippi. So trying to chip away, Mike, back at this lead, just down by 7. Only one out here in the fifth.
Yeah, you know, Jenkins right there playing it safe. Really, there's no reason to try to turn that into a run necessarily. They need 7. So really, if he gets out at the plate right there, it becomes a lot worse than being on third like that. So normally he could read that and get around, but he did a good job of playing it the right way right there.
First pitch misses high. 1-0 the count. Popped him up. Shallow left field, could be trouble. 3 converging, and it's Hughes who makes the play with his back to the infield. Nice job there by the shortstop from Wisconsin for the second out of the inning, and back to first is the runner for Mississippi in Henson.
Yeah, that was a real good play by the shortstop to stay with it. Left fielder's playing deeper than normal just to keep anything from getting over his head. So he had to run a long ways to get to that ball.
2 outs in the inning. First pitch. Popped up.
That's
shallow right center field. And a long way to make the run. Jumps up at the last moment. But making the play was the right fielder Peterson for the third out of the inning. So they keep Mississippi off the board in the fifth. We head to the 6th, still 9-2 Wisconsin over Mississippi. This is Exports TV's coverage of the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Gerald Valentine Enterprises in Main Street, Lawrenceburg would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Darrell Valentine Enterprises in Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Hey guys, I'm Carly Kloss. and I just created my own website with Wix.
Go to
This is the
Wix.com.
2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
Welcome you back to Denver Trap Field, Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. As Wisconsin leading Meridian, Mississippi 9-2. We head to the top half of inning 6. JP Plant, Mike Crane with you. First game of the 2017 World Series here in Lawrenceburg. As scoreboard update on Tom Cruise Field, they are heading to the bottom half of inning 4. And Newtown, Connecticut over Tri-Valley, California 2-1. California 3 errors. Which are contributing to those 2 runs. That game also available. Opening ceremonies coming up around 6:30 tonight right here on Denver Trap Field. We'll try to carry that live for you. The 1-0. Line drive right to the third baseman. And snagging it for the out is that Hodo? Yep, Will Hodo, who is started as the DH, or the extra hitter, is in at third. Nice job by Hodo. As Cody Lockleman put a charge into it. There's a strike.
Jenkins has come in and done a nice job of throwing strikes, and he's given up a few hits here and there, but you know, he's kept Wisconsin from really just blowing this thing wide open.
Dawson Draves, your hitter. The 1-1 just misses 2-1. Yeah, he's battled and fought through some innings. There's a hot shot, a one-hopper. And a long throw over by Mason in time to Butler for the second out of the inning. First 2 gone here in the top of the 6th. For Janesville, Wisconsin, they lead at 9-2 over Meridian, Mississippi. There's a strike on the outside edge. 0-1 the count. Line drive, going to get it down for a base hit into right center field.
Mississippi trying to do a little deception play. The right fielder acts like he's going to get it. The center fielder turns and looks. But, you know, it's a good time to try that, I guess.
Absolutely.
You know?
Down 9-2. Might get a cheap one. But paying attention was the hitter, Hageman. Throw back over to first, back easily. Your hitter, Caleb Kenna for Wisconsin. Throw back over to first, and that gets past Butler. Hageman going to make his way down to second. A huge foul territory here at Denver Trap Field, as we mentioned, and all the way to third on the error on the throw. And a runner at third now with 2 outs is Colin Hageman. And the 6th error of the ball game for Meridian. There's a grounder through the infield, and that will score the 10th run of the ball game for Wisconsin, as Kenna with the base hit and the RBI, and that'll bring up Colin Peterson.
Yeah, it seems like every miscue for Mississippi has cost them a run or 2 runs or 3 runs. So Wisconsin's done a good job of capitalizing on every one of those.
Grounder to third, and Will Hodo up with it across the diamond in time. So a single hit for Wisconsin. Another error. Actually, 2 hits and 1 error, and Wisconsin leads it now 10-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. You're watching X Sports TV's coverage of the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Back after this.
Darrell Valentine Enterprises in Main Street, Lawrenceburg would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Darrell Valentine Enterprises in Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
PSEC Productions proudly presents the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
Swung on, foul ball toward left field, back. Out of here, home run over the left field wall. He got every bit of that one.
Now live from the birthplace of Southern gospel music in the land of Crockett.
We welcome you back to Denver Trapp Field, Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, as the opening game of the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Head to the bottom of the sixth. Janesville, Wisconsin up on Meridian, Mississippi, 10-2. JP playing alongside Mike Crane, and new pitcher in for Wisconsin. And that will be Eric Hughes.
Is it?
Yep.
Eric Hughes, okay, yeah.
Yeah, shortstop, and Hageman moves to short. And we got a new second baseman. We'll get to that once Jersey turns around. Umpire waiting for the home plate umpire to get all the changes dictated in his little book. He's made his way back to home plate and ready for action. So Hughes, first pitch the afternoon for him here in the bottom of the sixth is high for a ball, 1-0. And Braden Luke, your hitter, he reached and scored his last time. Going to reach again, I believe. Yes, that's going to get all the way to the wall, past the center fielder. Rounding first, on his way to second, Luke with a leadoff double to the wall for Mississippi here in the bottom of the sixth, and nobody out.
Yeah, he really hit that ball well. Center fielder really didn't have a chance for it. I mean, he just hit a line drive into a little bit into left center field and the leadoff double. So here we go again. 9 hits for Mississippi.
So the hitter is Carpenter. Pitch is high, 1-0 the count. And California, scoreboard update, 2 in the bottom of the fourth. They now lead it 3-2 over Newtown, Connecticut for their first lead of the ball game. Swing and a miss by Carpenter, and the count evens at 1-1. Two fields here at Bobby Brewer Park. We are at the Babe Ruth Field, which is Denver Trapp. You're watching us here. The other field, Tom Cruise Field, which is where the local high school, the Lawrence County High School Wildcats, play their baseball. That pitch is outside. And the count now even at 2-2. It's adjacent to the Cal Ripken Fields. And new this year, Mike, the Miracle League Field for Abigail's playing. And that is just across the parking lot. So a huge complex of softball fields down there, soccer fields, football practice fields. As we're right next door to Lawrence County High School as well. That pitch is high, 3-1.
Yeah, we're very fortunate here in Lawrenceburg, Lawrence County, to have facility like this, and to have a facility like they do in Loretto too.
Absolutely.
They've got great facilities down there as well. So a lot of good places to play baseball, and so I think most of the folks that have come in, definitely in 2015 and this year, have been really happy with what they're getting to play on.
Absolutely. 3-2 to Carpenter. Runner at second. There he goes. Hit and run on. Pop going to be out of play over behind the Wisconsin dugout, which is the visitors, and they're at third. today.
I got to think that he was Luke was doing that on his own, because really he's down 8 runs and nobody out. There's really, his run means something, but the out means a lot more. So his coach probably telling him, say, hey, pump the brakes on him. Stealing third, in this situation.
Payoff pitch coming again to Carpenter from Hughes. Grounder to third. That'll keep the runner at second. He looks him back. High throw, and it's over the glove of Draves. Making his way to third is Luke. It's get to the fence. Luke is going to make his way to home. Play at the plate. Slide is in there. Luke scores the third run of the game for Mississippi, and making his way, running the entire time, was Ben Carpenter. He's at third, and it's 10-3 now. Mississippi fighting back here in the bottom of the 6th.
3/4 of the way to home, I thought Luke it was dead to rights. He made a great slide around the catcher to get in there, and so hopefully they can see that great on the live cast. But that was, in person, it was a great play, because by all rights he was out.
The ball certainly beat him.
Yes.
A great slide by Braden Luke. Third run of the ball game for Mississippi. They trail 10-3. Still no outs and a runner at third. And the hitter is Tanner Parker. Pops this one up, foul territory. Matson can't find it, but he does and makes the play. He has a little chuckle as it took him a second to find it, but he does. And the first out of the inning on Mississippi.
It was up in the air right behind him. It really wasn't that far from him, but when he took his helmet off, he dropped it right behind him, so he almost stepped on it. And so, anyway, I think he might have given his coaches a heart attack over there. But he made the play. That's what counts.
Absolutely. One out in the inning. Runner at third still. There's a ball lifted into right field towards the line by Hodo, and 2 players converge, and a catch is made. Tagging at third is Carpenter. They're going to throw back to try to get him.
No,
I think he tagged. Yep. Umpire says safe, and everybody's okay. I couldn't see which one caught that. The second baseman.
Right fielder caught it.
Did he catch it? Okay.
Yeah, he's the one that made the play. I can't see the number out there at the moment, but yeah, he's limping. He got the worst end of the deal, but he hung on to it, made a great play, showed the umpire the ball, and then got it in. Really didn't have a play at home. All Carpenter needed to do was just make sure he didn't leave early, right? He was going to score.
Absolutely. So makes it 10-4. There are 2 outs and nobody on base. And the hitter is Willis for Mississippi. Two outs, 10-4 now. Bottom of the 6th.
You just keep going back to those first innings when Mississippi had bases loaded and 1 out. They could have got a base hit right there. That'd have scored 2, 10-6, maybe score another one.
There's a grounder, hot shot to third, but Micah Overlay with a nice smooth move and a toss to first for the third out of the inning. And that gets Wisconsin out of the jam, but 2 runs on 2 hits and an error on Wisconsin as Mississippi puts 2 more on the board. They trail those still 10-4 as we head to the 7th inning. Wisconsin coming to the plate. This is X Sports TV's coverage of the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series.
Darrell Valentine Enterprises in Main Street, Lawrenceburg would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Darrell Valentine Enterprises in Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
We're back in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, side of the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. J.P. Plant and Mike Crane head to the top half of the 7th. It'll be Hughes, Matson, and Overlay for Wisconsin. They have a 10-4 lead facing Leighton Jenkins, who has done a fine job coming in He's only given up 2 runs, I believe,
Yeah.
against Wisconsin.
He's come in and done a nice job throwing strikes. He's given up a few hits, but he hasn't given up the big inning. And so they played a little. And Mississippi has also made made some defensive plays behind him, which, that's the difference in the ballgame.
Yep, they've settled in after 4 errors in the first 2 or 3 innings. The pitch is high to Hughes. 1-0 the count. Top of the 7th, first game of the 2017 World Series. That pitch is outside 2-0. Got 2 fields going. California still leads Connecticut 3-2. That game in the 5th inning. Little popper. Going to be foul. Nobody made a move for it.
Yeah. I thought it was out of play the way everybody just stood
Yeah.
there, but it really wasn't that far from the first base coach.
2-1. Slow chopper to third. Nice dig by Hodo over to first in time. And Will Hodo with a nice play at third of the hot corner and first out of the inning on Wisconsin here in the top of the 7th.
Hughes has hit the ball every time up. He's hit it hard. He let off the game with a shot down the right field line. We made a good play. He's got a...
Madsen's first pitch popped up. It's in the park, and Hodo at the third base coach's box makes the second out of the inning. He has the first 2 putouts here in the 7th.
It's a nice job by the third base coach for Wisconsin for go ahead and giving room for Hodo to make the play. A lot of times you'll see guys just kind of stand their ground over there, but he did a really nice job of getting out of the way and giving the kid a chance to make a play.
So the hitter is Micah Overlay, the pitcher of record so far for Wisconsin. I think definitely qualifies for a quality start.
Absolutely.
And that pitch misses the count even at 1-1 from Jenkins. Nobody on base. 2 outs in the inning. Pitch outside. 2-1. Got Lawrenceburg, the host team, versus North Dakota coming up tonight. First pitch scheduled around 8 o'clock Central Time. There's a slow grounder to second. Charging off to the side. A toss to first in time for the 3rd out of the inning. 1-2-3 goes Wisconsin in the top of the 7th. Last chance for Mississippi. They trailed 10-4. So we head to the bottom half of the 7th on Exports TV's coverage of the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Back after this.
Darrell Valentine Enterprises in Main Street, Lawrenceburg would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Darrell Valentine Enterprises in Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
Last chance for Mississippi. Boys from Meridian, they trail Janesville, Wisconsin, 10-4. This team's first game, the opening game of the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. J.P. Plants alongside Mike Crane from Denver Track Field.
Yeah, Wisconsin, they just need to. Best thing for them is to get 1, 2, 3 and get out of here and take this win. They played, and then Mississippi, I've seen it happen. 6 runs in an inning. It's not uncommon, and they've swung the bat. They got 9 hits, so it's not like that they're not swinging the bats. They still got a chance.
Absolutely. 10 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for Wisconsin. 4 runs, 9 hits, 6 Mississippi errors. The difference in this ball game. Eric Hughes on the mound for a second inning of work. He'll face Leighton Jenkins, his counterpart. Swing and a miss on a high fastball into the mitt of Madsen. 0-1 the count. So Wisconsin 3 outs away from getting the early lead in pool play. As the 0-1 misses outside, 1-1. Pitch, that's high. 2-1.
It's one base runner at a time for Mississippi. Any way you can get on right here.
Here's the 2-1. Soft liner into left, but played perfectly.
Yeah, it was a really nice job by Wisconsin to recognize after seeing the Mississippi who's at bat and who's done what. Now they position their defense, and in the third inning, first, second, and third inning, that's a base hit. In this inning, they did a nice job of adjusting the defense to what they've seen so far in the game.
So Jenkins retired. Brandrick Thomas, your hitter for Mississippi. Nobody on base. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch curveball comes in a little high and tight. 1-0 the count. The 1-0. Strike right down the middle.
And one thing I'll say, too, all these pitchers, there haven't been a whole lot, many walks at all.
No.
So, you've had to swing the bat today.
The 1-1 right between third and short. Nice piece of hitting by Brandrick Thomas, and a 1-out single here in the bottom of the 7th. Back to the top of the order, and Hayes Henson.
Now, Henson doesn't have a lot to show today. He got a base. I think he might have. But he's got a great swing. You can tell that when he's going to get into 1 or 2 before this tournament's over with.
Lefty at the plate. Draves keeping Thomas on at first. Lifted that one deep right center field. You talked about it. He gets a hold of one, and it one-hops the wall, nearly bounces over, but it stays in, and that's good for Mississippi because Thomas rounding third, sliding home for the 5th run of the ball game, and a 1-out RBI double for Hayes. Henson, Mike Crane, the prophet, you called it. Came quicker than you may expect.
Yeah, well, hey, he's been swinging the bat. I mean, and they pitched him well. They've thrown him a lot of off-speed pitches, but right there, he stayed back on the ball, and he one-hopped the fence, and that's a long ways out there. Probably most parks, that's a home run in most parks. So, you just knew it by watching him swing. He had it in him.
All right, so Mississippi cuts the lead in half now, 10-5. Bottom of the 7th, still 1 out. And the hitter, Brett Mason, has a nice bat as well. Also from the left side, no batting gloves, goes old school. So Henson at second after the RBI double. The pitch from Hughes inside. Nice job by Madsen. Keeping that one from going to the backstop. The 2-0. Strike right down the middle. Count even at 2-1. Just 1 out. Bottom of the 7th. Mississippi trailing, though. Wisconsin 10-5. Time asked for and received by Brett Mason. Did you get a pitch count there?
Yeah,
Mike?
I was just seeing where Eric was right here because that's really Wisconsin right now. The outs are their friend, but he's got around 27 pitches, so he's still well below the 45 pitch count to get a day's rest or whatnot. But that'll be what I think the coaches over here, if they get a few more hits, that'll be what these coaches start thinking about.
3-1, grounded to short, gets past Hageman and into left center field. Scoring easily is Henson, and a hot shot grounder was a tough one. You could almost go either way, probably an error. But either way, a run scores, makes it 10-6.
That's tough. I mean, he's going to his left. He's going down. They gave him a hit.
There we go.
I agree with that. I mean, that ball was I mean,
That was
it
scooting,
wasn't
too.
it wasn't a Sunday hopper for sure. And really, it's really, if you're the shortstop, you're just trying to get in front of that and knock it down. And it got through. So here we go,
yep,
right?
10-6, 2 runs already across. Runner at first as Brock Butler. Great baseball name. 1 out, big right-hitter.
Now, you know, as big as Brock is, as big and athletic as he looks right here, if he turns on one, it could be an 8-10 game right here.
Could be.
He definitely's got the size and looks like he's got the strength to get this game real close with one swing.
Denver trapped the larger of the 2 fields here at Bobby Brewer Park as the 1-0. That one's high, 2-0. 336 down the left field and right field poles, 375 to straightaway center compared to 327 in left over at Tom Cruise and 370 in center. Popped up to the right side. There's room, but can they get to it? Trying over his shoulder was Draves, unable to make the play. That's a tough spot.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a pop-up, and it's not deep. It's like that, but it's one of the hardest plays to make because you're running away from you. The wind's blowing, and you think you've got it, and the next thing you know, it lands 2 or 3 feet beyond where you think it's going to land. So it's not as easy as it looks over there.
So the 2-1 coming to Butler. Runner at first, 1 out, 10-6, bottom of the 7th. That one's popped out of play. So good swings by Butler.
Yeah, he sees the ball. He's seeing it well right here, but he's not getting the good part of the bat on it, and he's kind of shaking his head. Going, what I got to do here?
So 2-2, battling against Eric Hughes on the mound. Here's the pitch, outside. 3-2. It's full pitch, full count coming. Payoff pitch, low and outside, and Butler draws a walk. 2 runners on now with 1 out. And that'll bring up Braden Luke. He's been active at the plate and on the bases today. Had that nifty slide the last time. And, Mike, just as you mentioned, may start looking at the pitch count now for Hughes.
Yeah, he was at 27 a batter or 2 ago, and now, he's probably in the mid-30s. So 45 is a magic number from days rest, but I think coach for Wisconsin's just saying, hey, guys, we got a 4-run lead. We got 1 out. Settle down, throw strikes, and let's just make the plays that they give us. So the pressure seems to be turning a little bit from the Mississippi side over to the Wisconsin side at the moment. It's a good job by the coach right here to go out there and settle them down and just say, hey, play our game. And they've done a really nice job all the way through this thing.
All right, so Hughes stays in the ball game facing the left-handed Braden Luke at the plates. Runners at first and second, just 1 out. 10-6, Wisconsin leading. Mississippi tried to make a late surge. Ball lifted down the right field line. Plenty of room in fair territory, making the catch for the 2nd out, and attempting the tag initially was Mason, but he backs off and stays at second. And now Mississippi down to their final out, and Ben Carpenter comes to the plate.
Ben came around. He had a base hit, and he came around and scored last time up, correct?
He did. Hits on the right side. First pitch. Just drifts a little bit outside. 1-0 the count. 10 runs on 10 hits, 2 errors for Wisconsin. Mississippi, 6 runs. Also 10 hits, but 6 errors for Mississippi. They trail 10-6. Ball lifted shallow left field. Playing shallow, though, and 3 coming in and making the grab. Out in left field for the final out of the ball game was Cody Logdeman. And that will do it. Game 1 of the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series is in the books, and it goes to Janesville, Wisconsin, as they defeat Meridian, Mississippi, 10-6. We'll take a quick timeout, be back to wrap it up. You're watching Exports TV's exclusive coverage of the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Back to Denver Trap in Lawrenceburg after these messages.
Gerald Valentine Enterprises in Main Street, Lawrenceburg would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Darrell Valentine Enterprises in Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X-Sports Radio Network.
Janesville, Wisconsin picks up the first win of the Babe Ruth World Series, 10-6. Your final. Welcome back to Denver Trap Field. JP Plant alongside Mike Crane as both teams lining up, and they're going to have the Ron Tellefson players of the game. We can listen in here.
Johnny Lyles. Mr. Lyles was a professional ball player. He is a Lawrence County businessman and a long-time supporter of baseball here in this area. The player of the game from Wisconsin is Colin Hageman.
Colin Hageman, player of the game.
The game from Mississippi is Braden Luke.
So Braden Luke gets it for Mississippi. Colin Hageman for Wisconsin as they are being receiving that little distinction by Lawrence County's own Johnny Lyles, former professional baseball player Johnny
That's right.
Lyles.
Played in the Pirates organization.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Johnny does a lot for this league and all the sports around the county through his business. So definitely appreciate what he does.
Absolutely. So your final, Wisconsin 10, Mississippi 6. Recapping the scoring, Wisconsin got things underway in the top of the second with 4 runs. They backed it up with 4 more in the third, aided by 4 Mississippi errors. Another one in the top of the fifth, and they led it 9-0. Mississippi got on the board, though, in the bottom of the fourth with a pair of runs and scoreless fifth inning. And the sixth, Wisconsin added 1 more to make it 10-2. Mississippi backed it up with 2 more in the sixth and held Wisconsin in the top of the seventh and tried a little rally in the bottom half of the inning with 2 more runs for Mississippi. But a little too much work to make up after those early errors, as totaling 6 for the game. But Wisconsin gets the win 10-6. So you mentioned, despite the loss for Mississippi, you take the errors out of it. Obviously, it's part of the game, but you take the errors away, and if you play fairly clean baseball, it was a pretty even game from that standpoint.
Yeah, I think if you're Mississippi, that's exactly how you're looking at it. Your coaches are over there doing that, and you're saying, hey, guys, we just clean up a little bit, and we can win some games here and get into the bracket play. If you're Wisconsin, you say, hey, look, guys, great job defensively. You guys, they made the play. The turning point in the game is in the second inning. Bases loaded, 1 out. Come up, first baseman Draves makes a great play to home, and they turn the double play with Draves and Madsen turning that double play. That was the game. That was the play of the game, in my opinion. Because if you look at the score now, if they don't get something right there, then Mississippi is probably pretty close to a tie ball game at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. So nice defensive job there by Wisconsin. As you mentioned, that 3-2-4 double play to get out of the bases loaded jam, and that is Mike's play of the game. So we appreciate you all tuning in. We'll be back here later this evening around 6:30 for the opening ceremonies right here on Denver Trap Field. We will carry that, the visual for you, and then the host team Lawrenceburg taking on Bismarck, North Dakota here on Denver Trap. Scoreboard update. Over at Tom Cruise Field, Connecticut and California, they're tied at 3. They are in the bottom half of the 5th inning. you can watch that on Exports TV as well. You can catch the end of that one. And we'll continue to work on getting our audio fixed. Got to get the right equipment and continue to make this the best as we possibly can to bring it to all of you out there watching and listening. We appreciate your patience and hope you're enjoying our coverage of the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. So again, we've got the opening ceremonies live here at 6:30 on Denver Track Field. Catch on over to Tom Cruise Field, Connecticut, California, tied at 3. So we'll have all of that just getting underway from the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Thanks for tuning in to Exports TV's coverage of the 15-year-old Babe Ruth World Series, where your final score is Janesville, Wisconsin 10, Meridian, Mississippi 6. For Mike Crane, I'm J.P. Plant, reminding you to join us in just a little bit at 6:30 for the opening ceremonies on your home for the Babe Ruth World Series, Exports TV. Until then, so long from Denver Track Field and the Babe Ruth World Series.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the Exports Radio Network.